This is 89.7 FM. Broadcasting live 24 hours a day. 89.7 FM.
Welcome back. It just hit 1:23. You are chilling with me, Banyana, here on RMR 89.7. We, of course, are on the Bassline. It's a Monday, and as I promised you earlier on the show, we'll be chatting with iFani actually here in the studio. So if you got a couple of comments, questions, you can call me up on 046-603-8847, or you can WhatsApp me on 061-064-4171, or tweet us on RMR 89.7 or Facebook on RMR 89.7 FM. iFani.
Money.
How you doing?
The grand winner.
Easy. How are you enjoying Rhodes University, Seba?
That means I am very full.
What did you eat? Tell us what you ate.
The SRC.
They fed
you. They went all out. There were platters. We had prawns with the dip. We had spinach somethings. We had spring rolls. Sakekile had some chicken, and we're nice.
So you ate.
Yeah.
So we're sharp and ready for the chat. All right. So tell us a little more about your touring around universities and what exactly. Why are you here, actually?
Yes. I'm touring around universities around the country. It's for Project F2A. Hashtag Project F2A. The F stands for failure and the A stands for the A symbol. It's like your grades.
Yeah.
So what it is about refocusing yourself from solving problems, problem-based, into looking at the things that inspire you. And fly away to success.
I just want to give us a brief background on how the project came about and sort of what inspired it.
The project came about when when I was involved with the Clash of the Choirs, and I had 18 members that I have to deal with. And through me talking to them the whole time and just seeing how their minds were changing, the more time I spent talking to them. And I wasn't even talking music to them, I was talking these concepts of refocus yourself. Why are we looking at the problems and not the things that are going to inspire you? Why are we trying to blame the past and not look at the bright future that's ahead of us? Why are we always crying for the things that we don't have instead of looking at the stuff that we do have? And through that talk, I started seeing them transforming into these beings that were there trying to win $1 million, into people that were much happier. And from a happier point of view, or from the happier space, they started becoming creative. Then I started seeing that, wow, so when you do change your mind from focusing on the failure into focusing on things that are good, you actually become more creative. You start to work harder. We're sleeping at 3 a.m. in the morning and they pushing. So I was like, it dawned on me around that time, that maybe the stuff we keep telling ourselves and everybody about hard work doesn't come from just working hard. It comes from being inspired. So when someone is inspired, they become more productive. And when you're more productive, you're successful.
Okay, just give us a quick breakdown as to what the project actually does and what it aims to sort of achieve, and some of the goals you guys have as.
Yes, it's a series of talks. So I go around universities talking, discussing these topics of success, looking at success from a different angle. And my aim is for people to rethink what they thought they knew, especially going into university, because I looked at my life as well and I started realizing that actually I didn't make it because I was this super intelligent kid. I made it because I was inspired. All those things that happened through my life, going from poverty to getting distinctions, being on the Sunday Times and front cover of the newspapers. From there to becoming the student who got all the scholarships and bursaries and flying overseas to go study there. And looking at all these achievements I had in my life, I started realizing that actually this all came from being inspired. It never came from hard work and struggle. And then I looked at my music career, and every time I was struggling, every time I was fighting, I was losing. But every time I was enjoying it and having fun, I was winning.
Tell us when the realization actually came. I understand you saying something dawned on you, and when did that actually happen? And from
last
that
year,
time,
like around November last year.
And from that time, how did you sort of move forth as to changing your life, or using that realization to sort of implement things in your life or changes in your life?
Myself I started looking at the positive things. I started looking at the stuff that made me happy and made me smile. I started making decisions from a point of, is this going to make me happy, or is this the right thing to do? You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So from making decisions from that standpoint, my life started turning around. And then I was telling everyone that was, coming across me, and everyone I was meeting, and I could see changes in their lives every time I spoke to them. And I told them about these concepts. They would go home, they would think about it, and then the next day they would tell me, yo, I realized something. Things don't work like this, they actually work like this. I am more productive now, I can do this and this and that. So seeing people change made me want to go out and tell more people.
Okay, and I also just want you to touch on when do you think, from what we know, you have been to school, you have been to varsity, you've actually done really well for yourself. You have a BSc in engineering and so forth. And I just want to know, do you think that foundation of an education made you who you are now, or gave you a head start into sort of molding yourself into this artist, or into this brand, iFani?
This question has two sides to it. Let me handle the first one.
Okay.
We are everything we are today because of the experiences we've had before. So regardless of what path you've taken in life, that's the path you needed to take to be in the space that you're in now. But if I were to tell someone that this is the path to go, I wouldn't necessarily say go the path that I went, because my path could, it couldn't be your path. You have your own, you're an individual. But what I would tell them is take the path that feels the best for you. So for me, the path that I had to take was this one, because when I was growing up, I believed that education was the key to success, and I went that route. Other people might think, I don't want that kind of stuff. I really just want to see nature, and I want to take pictures of nature, and they might go into that. But either way, you are going to get education. Either way, you will be educated, or you will educate yourself, because that's what happens when you're inspired. When you really want to take good pictures, you're going to go on the internet and you're going to find out which one is the best camera. You're going to find out who was taking best pictures back in the days. You're going to go into it because it's interesting for you. So education comes automatically when you are inspired. That's why I keep telling people, be inspired, because from that point you can do anything.
And you've said things like, well, you've sort of stated things on Facebook, such as, sometimes people are lazy, they just don't know where to start. And maybe you could sort of unpack as to where should you start as an individual, wanting to do something, wanting to change your life, feeling like you're stagnant and wanting to move forward. Where exactly would you suggest someone starts?
You are dead right about that. I did say that, and it's true that a lot of people don't know where to start. It's not that they're lazy. They look around and they're like, yo, I would really love to be a millionaire, or I would really love to leave this place and go stay in Cape Town or Joburg or wherever, but I don't know where to start. And the reason why there is that confusion is because they stuck between two worlds. Those worlds are doing what's right and doing what feels right. And a lot of people can relate to this. You've been in a position where you felt like this is the right thing to do, but it just doesn't feel right. Other people could be in school thinking it's the right thing to do because it's going to make me a doctor, and I need to do that because I want all these things that doctors have, but it doesn't feel right. Then you find people ending up being professionals in things that they're not happy about. If drinking water is it, go there. If taking a picture is it, go there. And always make your decisions based on how it feels, not what it means.
And what would you say to sort of people who are listening to you right now and are thinking, I want to do things that make me happy, but currently what will make me happy, or what makes me happy, will not pay my bills? How do you sort of advise a person to sort of...
That is someone who's trying to make a logical decision.
Okay.
You see, when you say it's not going to pay my bills, then you want to do it because it's going to pay your bill, but you're not doing it because it's going to give you happiness. You see, sometimes happiness may not immediately give you the money or the thing that you think is going to give you, but you need to trust it. That's why the title of my album is called I Believes in Me. You need to believe that your happiness will lead you to more happiness. It will never fail you, ever, ever, ever.
Early on in the press conference, you talked about you know, I from my conversation with you right now, I understand that, like, and I see that you're a positive person. You're a person who thinks that, you know, focusing on positivity is key in the way you navigate your life and all of those things. And you also touched on a dark time in your life, and I want to know, did that sort of push you to know, to facing other things, like to looking more into positivity than negativity? You talked about your suicide attempt and all of those things. For people who didn't know about your dark side, thinking that you've had this perfect life, maybe you could sort of unpack on that.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect. And I will tell you this, that at the time when I was going through everything, I did not know. Even when things started happening over and over, I still did not know. You know, I was still in the dark. So I can't say after I committed suicide and I went to the mental institution and I came out and I had the answer. I still, looking back now, I still did not have the answer. I was just still trying to navigate my way through life. It's only now it's become clear. Only now, looking back, and as they say, hindsight is 20/20. So now I can see clearly that actually I was making that decision because I was going towards something that was making me happy. You know. So when I left, for example, when I left my job and I started doing music, even though I wasn't getting paid, even though the money that I had, the savings were going down, I was still happy. And it popped. And this is a question that people used to ask me all the time when I used to go around doing interviews, like, hey, I found it, great work, your song was doing great, what do you think is the reason why you're here, how did you make it, tell us? And I used to always say, it's hard work, you know, dedication, all this stuff. I was quoting all these things I was hearing, but looking back now, it wasn't hard work. You know, when I was staying up late until 6 a.m. making a song, it wasn't hard work, it was fun. I was enjoying it. You know, I wasn't staying up late drinking Red Bull thinking, oh Lord, I need to finish this song. Not at all. You know, I was sleeping just because my body was giving up, but me, I was going. And I'm saying, start making things from that point.
Alright, we're still chilling in the studio with iFani. As I said, you can call in and ask a couple of questions, or you can hit me up on WhatsApp should you not have your time. That is, of course, our lines on 046-0603-8847, or you can hit me up on WhatsApp on 061-064-4171. We're going to go into a quick ad break and we'll be back with iFani. Stay tuned. 9.7, and we have in studio iFani, if you just logged in, asking him a couple of questions with regards to his project that he started. Apparently it's hashtag
Project F2A.
Hashtag Project F2A. I want to continue talking a bit about that. I don't even know where to start, but there's so many things that say you are a student here at Rhodes University and you want to benefit from the initiative. You know, how do you go about sort of, do I just approach you and say, listen, iFani, this is the problem that I have currently, would you kindly assist me? Or, you know, is there a certain, you know, kind of things that you have to go to?
Yeah, I think one, just look out for when I'm coming back to your campus again. Number two, you can follow me on Twitter. I write about these things all the time. I tweet them, I put them out there. It's iFani_Haimani. You can check me out on Instagram at Krenkist, CRENKIST. This is me. These are the things I talk about all day, every day. And another thing is, when you start paying attention to one thing, you start being drawn to other things that are similar to it. So when you start liking hip-hop music, for example, maybe you like it because you like iFani, and then you're going to start hearing about Casper and AKA and all these other things. It's just going to keep attracting the same thing. So when you pay attention to me, you're going to start hearing the same messages coming from all kinds of people. So as soon as you just focus on that, the rest happens.
Earlier on at the press conference, we touched on, you know, student movements and sort of like your take on the student movements, and you know what you think, or what you sort of think should result from certain student movements. And I understand, you know, you talked about also focusing on not the problem but rather the solution. You also said that you're involved in initiatives such as hashtag access from Vets. I want to know what sort of contributions are you making to initiatives like that? You
see, they're trying to raise 10 million in the month of Feb, so they can pay fees for the students that can't re-register because they owe. That's something that's positive. You know, that's something that you wake up and you smile about. It's not something that's negative. You're not fighting a problem there. You know, you're looking at something that's great. So I'm in it because of that, simply because of that. So when you want to make the money, you know, it's a good feeling, gives you a good feeling.
Yeah.
So we're just there trying to help them raise the 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the fact that, you know, the 10 million will only cater for a particular amount of students,
Yep.
and there'll still be students who are not catered for, and so, you know, initiatives such as Fees Must Fall, you know, try to make an umbrella sort of way of other students getting access. That's for like every student. So we're talking about legislation, and they're talking about things changing nationally, not just a particular, you know, campus or a few students. Can you speak more on that with regard to you saying rather focus on the solution rather than the problem?
You see, there's nothing wrong with that conversation. It's totally perfect, and it is great conversation, and I agree with it. You know, the making sure that everyone has access to education, all of that stuff, that's great. The only thing I was saying to the gentleman that was asking the question is the way you then address that. You know, then you don't attend lectures, then you are doing, then you are fighting, then you are feeling this anger within you because you really believe this thing needs to work. And I said to him, that's not how ideas pop into your mind. They don't pop when you're going, they pop when you're having fun. They pop when you are inspired. So when you look at things that make you happy, that make you smile, then ideas come up. So when you look at an initiative like Access, where you're like, we're going to raise 10 million, and now we're sitting at 3. This is fun. You know, we can make more. Oh, that was a great idea. iFani is going to come in and donate this much. It's great. Trust me, when you're in that point of view, as much as you're trying to raise 10 million now, other ideas are going to pop. You need to trust that state of mind, that when you're in the state of mind where you are happy about solving something, more ideas come out. So that 10 million can cover for a couple of students there, and there, but because they are in this frame of mind, more ideas will pop up.
Okay, I think what you're saying is very valid. I think that yes, oftentimes we must be very positive and have a positive outlook of life, right? But if I want to argue and put this argument forth and say that Fees Must Fall was an idea, and I do not think that Fees Must Fall came in a very positive light. I think people were fed up, and people were in a sort of negative space, and they were like, we're gonna make change, and we're gonna stop, you know, the way things are functioning to try and get the government to hear us out. You know, what would you say about that? Are you saying that, you know, in some instances you can sort of swerve towards being angry? And
I am never for anger. I am never for any of those heavy feelings, simply because when you're in that state, you are not productive.
But
you are doing a lot of stuff.
Fees Must Fall wasn't that quite a success?
Which one?
Fees Must Fall. You know, how it rallied the country, how we had a national. That was ideas that came about with students who were angry, who were just like, you know what, I'm done with this.
So did you want to make the whole country know?
No.
Or did you want the fees to actually fall?
We did, but we had other requirements that sort of had to happen, and which it did happen, you know.
Yes, but did you want those requirements, or did you want the fees to fall?
We wanted the requirements and the fees to fall.
Then if you want the requirements, then why don't you go for the requirements and leave the other stuff? Kind of like, here's an example. The guys at Vets, and many institutions are going to start doing this. They want 10 million. That's all they want. And they're going to get 10 million. They're not going to say, now that everyone knows that we want 10 million, it is dope because at least everyone knows about it. Do you get what I'm saying? They're gunning for the 10 million and that's it. And they're doing it in a positive manner because it is great. It feels good. They're holding. We were at Beer Garden.
Yeah.
Everyone was having fun. People were jumping on stage performing. Do you get what I'm saying? They were raising money. Happy. Inspired. And more ideas came out. We sat with them 2 days after Beer Gardens. More ideas came about. We're about to implement another idea this week that's going to raise more money. That is all I'm saying. When you're in that positive space, more ideas pop up. And had this Fees Must Fall, if they said we want fees to fall, but we're not gonna go with the anger route. We're gonna go with, I don't know, educate more people, let the country know, you know, we're going to build floats that are creative and put them up and take big pictures and put them in big traffic. You know what I'm saying? interesting things that are positive, and then the country gets to know, and the message gets spread, more ideas will pop. But when you want fees to fall and you're fighting and you're throwing stones, you want to be throwing stones.
Okay, going back to Project F2A. Ultimately, what do you want, or what do you want the project to achieve? So in sort of maybe the next 10 years, or however longevity it has, you know, what exactly ultimately would you want the youth to benefit from the project?
I would like people to start doing exactly what they love, whatever that thing is. There are people out there who like talking, you know, who like going around and spreading the message. There are people who don't like that, who like to sit down and create things. So with this project, I would like people to start going back into themselves and doing the things that they enjoy. And as time goes by, if I don't know, if I get married or something and I end up in Brazil, you know, I don't know, having a good time, whatever, someone in here will still be continuing doing what they love. And if to them it's picking up where iFani left off, let that be.
Okay, on to lighter things. That Millie you told us about.
Which one? The one I spent?
Hey, how was it to have a Millie in your account?
Oh, it was great. It's a great feeling.
Are you
Trust
gonna?
me, you are positive all day, every day.
So are you gonna give us a chat on
Salmon,
how
sashimi. You know what else? There's dips, that sushi.
Is that how you spent it? Yeah?
That's some of the things.
Okay, and on some of the projects you involved with, Clash of the Choirs.
Clash of the Choirs.
How's that going?
It's going great. Yesterday we won the elimination free pass.
Oh, okay.
We killed them.
Yes.
That means all the choir masters, and you have to understand that I'm the only choir master who can't sing out of all of them. All these guys have been in choirs, they've been singing, they've been doing tones and all this kind of stuff, and yet we are running the game. And again, it goes to show that when you are looking into the positive things, when you're getting inspired, you can be as good as the best of them. Without even knowing anything, you can be as good as the best of them because you choose to be inspired.
And what are you learning, particularly from the experience? You know, from the whole experience with your fellow choir masters, some of the judges. Tell us a bit more about the vibe that goes on and how you guys prep towards, you know, the show on the weekend. And does preparation take place during the week?
Yeah, we pretty much have a day to finish the prep. Yeah. And then the next day we need to do choreography. Yeah. And choose wardrobe. And then it's performance time. So there's actually no time. So it's 18 hours a day. You only have 2, 3, 4 hours to sleep, and then you're back at it again. So it's quite intense. And it really tests you. It really, you know, because they throw problems all the time. Like all the time. Maybe a cameraman wants to shoot and you're in the middle of getting a great idea and you can't say no because you must go do this interview. It can be irritating. Yeah. So for me, it really taught me how to dodge problems. It was a problem dodging exercise for me. Yeah, and I think I did well until then.
Obviously you plan to win like any choir master.
Like everybody. But do you know what I want to win though?
Okay, what do you want to win?
Way more than the million.
Okay.
I want to win the hearts of the people watching the show.
Oh, okay.
Forget the million, because I understand there's 50 million people in this country. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? If all of them gave us a rand, we nice. You get what I'm saying? As long as I have their hearts, I'm good. They can keep the million. We'll make our own. Okay. Plus, we're releasing a song today.
Hey, I saw.
More millions coming.
All right. Should you win?
Yeah.
What's the plan with your choir? You know, I understand people win and then the choir sort of fizzles out. Don't know what happens.
Good point.
What exactly are you planning with your choir?
What I'm planning with my choir is even before the competition is complete. We're already releasing a song today. Like I said, to us, this is not about competition at all. To us, it's about changing our mindset from focusing on failure into focusing on success and the dreams and the things that inspire us. Yeah. That song we did last night is dropping today, outside the competition.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While others are preparing for the next song, we are dropping this for everyone to have. People will have this song on the phones. The other choir masters are chilling, probably turning up, having a good time. I'm out here working. And trust me, it's not feeling bad. This is great. I'm having fun. You look great. These camera guys around me look perfect. You know, I'm having a good time, and we're dropping the song today for everyone to have.
Yeah. And some of the future projects you working on beyond Choir Masters and Project F2A?
Project F2A, yeah, that's
the main focus.
That's the main focus.
And that's it.
And then new album, new.
Not that we're not waiting for it.
Yeah, but more releases. I'm releasing another single from my album.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm taking things from there.
Yeah. Okay, so the song you guys are dropping as a choir is called
Easy to Love Choir Remix, originally done by Boosie and Heavy K.
And where can we download it?
You can download as soon as I'm out of here.
Okay.
I am off to drop it on Data File Host. I will post it on my Facebook. I will post it on my Twitter. I will post it everywhere for everyone to have. And when you download it, please WhatsApp it to your friend. You know, this one is free. I don't want anyone buying this stuff. If you buy it, the money goes to Boosie and Heavy K. We are taking not a cent from this project.
Yeah.
We are giving it to the people.
Okay. All right. Other than that, that's it for us. Thank you so much for coming through, iFani. And
Thank
of
you.
course, we can catch you on social media.
On Twitter at iFani_Heyman. On Instagram is Crankist. Crankist. CRENKIST. And the aim is to have 1 million followers by the end of the year, and it's gonna happen.
Definitely. That's about it for iFani for today. Thank you so much for coming through. And of course, he'll be roaming around campus for the rest of the day. And other than that, you can catch him on Crash of the Choirs. That's of course on Sunday.
Sunday 5:30. Every Sunday 5:30 on Mzansi Magic. If you want to be entertained, you need to follow Team iFani. But if you don't want that, obviously you can go and look at the other guys.
You're still locked into RMR 9.7. Keep it locked. I still have great music for you.
Hola, come on iFani, Mr. Heyman. I just released my single right now. Team iFani. Easy to love. Download it on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter. This is Rhodes RMR boy.
89.7 FM.